Test, test. Come one, come all. Welcome back to downtown St. Louis, America Center, as your Rockwood Thunder set to kick off their second match of the second day of the tournament. We're playing Tulsa Power 16-1, as this one will come at Kennedy. She's going to get it to Allie. Allie finds Greta. First point goes to your Rockwood Thunder, as that'll go down the right side. Greta cuts it inside the 10-foot line there, or just outside the 10-foot line. 1-0. As this is the number 3 team in the pool. And they lost in 2 to Navy, first match of the day. And we'll give them a whirl now, as that one comes cross court, and that'll go down for Tulsa. One off the top of the net. Chloe unable to get there, and that'll be a second point for Tulsa, 2-1. Our sister club Navy took it to Powell in 2 sets in the match that just went on right before us, so they're undefeated, 2-0. We're on a collision course for them for our third match of the day. That one's going to sail all the way back here to the wall and tie us up at 2. And then we'll hopefully take first or second in the pool and end up with a crossover match at 5 or 6 o'clock tonight. And that one will go off Delaney and out of bounds on our side, giving Tulsa back the lead. Don't understand why this qualifier does this with the crossovers. You don't see it at a lot of them, but pack a lunch, because we're here for the day usually. As that overpass from Chloe will get cleaned up by, I think that was Chloe, cleaned up by Tulsa, and they'll go up 4-2. Greta will send this one up. Allie gets it out to Jane. She'll tip it up and over the block. Dumped over. Chloe gets a good hand on it, and Allie will turn and dump it. Picked up by Tulsa. From their outside, thrown down the sideline. Kennedy's there. Allie to Greta from behind the 10-foot line. Roll shots it over the net. Right side will swing and hit that one down the left side, and that'll be a quick 5-2 start for Tulsa, and the girls need to get some answers. This Tulsa team took second place in their pool yesterday. They had the Blue Steel Blue team, I believe, take first in that pool. That one will go off Kennedy over to the scorer's table. And we're down 4. That one back at Kennedy. She'll go down and get that one up to Allie. Jane will get over the top of that one and play it off the back row. Free ball coming. See if the girls can get something going. Allie with a one-hand set to Jane. She's rejected at the net. And things not going our way early on. Chloe will get that one to Allie, tight to the net. She dumps it over. That one sails all the way back. That'll be a Rockwood point, 7-3. Allie will send this one to the middle. Pushed over to the outside. Allie has to play it. Chloe runs under it, gets it to Zoe. Zoe goes down the right side. Libero plays it up, dumped over. Chloe's there. Allie, quick one to Delaney. That one got turned back our way. And that'll be another point for Tulsa. That one comes at Jane. That overpass cleaned up quick by Tulsa as well. And I think they, looks like they called a net violation. I missed that. That'll be a point for us, and that'll bring Reagan in to score. We'll take all the free extra points we can get. Reagan will send it into the middle. That one comes over the net quick. We got a net violation anyway, and that's a Tulsa point. Chloe will pop that one up to Olivia. She gets it quick to Delaney. Off the hands, played up by Tulsa. From the outside, down in front of Chloe as she tried to dive at it. Unable to get there, and 10-4. This time not good buddy as we're down on the Trucker score. Looking for some answers to get this offense in system. That one will come at Reagan. Olivia has to run that one down, gets it over to Greta, and Greta does a good job of putting that one into the Hertz donut. And cuts that lead by 1. It's 10-5. See if Chloe can cut into that lead as she goes behind the line to serve. She'll send it to Libero in the middle. Quick set to the middle, tipped over. Diving effort by Olivia, but she was unable to get there. Chloe will get that one to Liv. She finds Zoe Parks. Good cross court. That one goes all the way up to the ceiling. And then a big high pass, free ball over. Reagan runs under it. Liv gets it to Greta. She'll tool it off the left hand, the left side block there. That was a tongue twister to say there. Anyway, it's 11-6 in favor of Tulsa, and Kennedy back to serve. She'll send it seam left off the Libero, and that's going to be an ace for Kennedy. Taking us to the Serpy floor. She'll try the right side, but sends it over to the Tulsa bench. As Bob Euchre would say, just a bit outside. Don't know how they lay off serves that close. 12-7 in favor of Tulsa. Kennedy will get that one up to Allie, sends it over to Greta. She goes up and over the block, but too far with it. Good news is we were in system with that one, just had a little miss. We keep doing that, things will be okay, though. We'll get those in. Chloe up to Allie. Back sets it to Cam on the slide. She's blocked at the net. And a couple efforts to play it up, but that's going to come down on our side. And we're doubled up 14-7, and Gabby's going to call a timeout. We'll be back after this brief timeout. Yeah, we're out of the timeout with Tulsa serving. Kennedy will get that one to Allie. She's going to push it to Greta, and Greta does a wise one there as they had a 2 block up, and the Hertz donut was wide open, so she took advantage of that. Greta will go right side with it. Setter's going to give it to the middle, and then she's going to give it to the fans as she sent it all the way back here. She'll go right back to the well on that side, goes off the net. Played up free ball style. Greta up to Allie, feeds it to Jane. She had to regroup and sends that one too far over towards the bench. We did get a touch, so Jane will get that one off the hands. And the coach is going to question the touch on that. The down ref is the head coach of our sister club from Navy, so I'm sure they're questioning a hometown call, so she sends her captain over to the up ref. Well, and of course, the 2 line judges are our sister club Navy, so and we'll see. The captain goes back to her coach. Explaining to her what the up ref said. I guess she's content with the call, and we'll go on 14-10. Didn't pull the Demi Moore, I strenuously object. That's going to go out of bounds as Greta tried to send that one on the right side. Greta up to Allie. She'll feed it to Jane. Jane will go up over the block, tip it into the back row. Middle's rejected by Cam. Deficit's 4. Cam behind the line. She'll go seam right. Libero gets it up to her setter. Push back to the right side. And that was a quick one. The block was late getting over there as Jane was sliding over. And that got off of her arms and over to the fans. Kennedy. Allie will turn and dump it. Right side again. She's going to turn too tight on that one as that's a southpaw. And she hooked that one over like me hitting a golf ball off the tee box. If you've ever golfed with me, you understand that. I'm a righty and I slice it, but a lefty hook is like my slice. Dumped over. Chloe read it. She was there. Allie gets it to Zoe, and Zoe Parks will put it away. And the disappearing ball as it goes under the scorer's tablecloth. Like magic, it reappeared, and Allie set to serve down 3. Goes down the right side. From the back row, tipped over by the outside. Allie has to play it. Chloe out of system to Jane. Jane cross court. Libero has it. Setter gets it to her outside, and that's going to go off the hands of our block and over towards the score table. Chloe to Liv. Liv finds Jane. She'll dump it back row. Outside. Greta sliding over. Tried to get it up to Liv. Liv unable to make a play on it. And we'll line up down 5. And we'll take another free one. 18-14. Reagan coming in to serve. She'll go down the right side with it. Comes over to the right side. Zoe Parks has to play it. Liv gets it to Greta. She'll tip it over the block. Libero out of system to the right side. Liv has to play it. We'll return the out of system. And Greta will turn and send it down the left side. It was wide open. And she found the back left corner. Reagan gets the signal. She'll go seam right. Sends it too far. Reagan up to Liv. Liv back feeds it to Zoe. Zoe sends it cross court. This one from behind the 10-foot line, never made it over the net. They're going to say we blocked it. I'm not sure we did, but we'll go ahead and give a block highlight to the team. And the lead is 3 and a timeout from Tulsa. We'll be back after the timeout. And we come out of the timeout. Chloe to serve. She'll go seam left. Pushed over to the outside, off the hands. Greta plays it. Liv was on the ground, and everybody looked around. Liv wasn't able to get up to it. That's always tough. Everybody's used to the setter taking second ball, and she's on the ground, and not much else to say. Reagan to Liv. Zoe Parks will send it back right corner. And there's a tough one as that goes into the back right corner, and we're into the back third, down 21-16. Things not going as expected, and Gabby's going to call a timeout. And then we're back to live action. Libero from the other side has serve. She'll send it at Greta. Liv's going to push it back to Zoe Parks. And she has a nice kill as she sends that seam right. Not a lot of room for error here. Kennedy stepping in. We got to get some points in a hurry here if we're going to have a chance at this first set. Knuckleball in the middle. Quick set to their middle, and that's a no-go, and that'll shave one of them. Kennedy goes at the middle again, sprays over to the side. Setter has to go a long way. Free ball not going to work either, and the lead's down to 2. Kennedy with a knuckleball left side. That one comes all the way over. Kennedy gets it up to Allie, to Greta, and Greta pushes it left side. That one from back row. Chloe gets it to Allie. Allie gets it to Greta. This time she tries to seam right. Greta tries to clean up the overpass. This one comes all the way over, and each time she feeds it to Allie. Allie gets it to Greta, but Greta finds the net. Lots of opportunities there, just couldn't put it away. Chloe will dive in front of that one. Sent across. Libero gets the out of system to the outside. That goes off the high hands and down. And we're all the way to Monstropolis. 23-19, not in our favor. Chloe up to Allie. Push to Greta. Tipped into the Hertz donut. It's 23-20. Greta will serve. Seam right. Set her out to the outside. That one's blocked straight up in the air. And then the pass goes overpass, but we've cleaned it up. Greta gets it to Allie, who finds Jane cross court. Setter's going to feed her right side. She sends that cross court into the seam and down for the kill. Set point now for Tulsa. And we got to overcome 4 of those. This one, Kennedy will step in front of. Allie back feeds it to Cam. She'll go off the high hands. Setter to her middle. Kennedy with a great dig, and Allie will turn and flip it over. Setter goes it to the outside. And that's going to sail away like Sinbad and his band of thieves. Out to the parents. And 1 set point removed. Cam goes left side with her serve. The outside tips it over the block. Good job. And then Greta will send it from behind the 10-foot line. We'll regroup. Greta gets that one. Allie dumps it. Tulsa was ready. Their right side sends another long one. Cam to serve. She'll go at that seam left. Setter pushes to the outside, and that's down for the kill. Set 1 is in the books. Will fall to Tulsa, 25-22. We'll be back to bring you set 2 shortly. to kick off set 2 here. It's a do or die for your Rockwood Thunder here, as these girls have got to win this one to push it to a third set. Kennedy will start us off, goes at the libero. Pushed over to the outside. That one's blocked at the net. Kennedy runs it down. Allie will feed it to Greta. Greta cuts it hard, gets the kill. First point, Thunder. Kennedy will go short middle. There's a rejection at the net. That's going to get dumped back middle. Jane gets it up to Allie, and Cam will tool that one off the front block and get a kill. Kennedy sends it back middle. Pushed over to the outside. Chloe will send that one up in the air. Jane will get it out of system to Greta, who goes cross court, gets that one off some hands and down for a kill. Kennedy goes back at that libero again. Straight up. Setter has to run a long way outside. That goes between Jane and Chloe, and I think Jane got a hand on it. 3-1. Better start than last time. We'll see if we can push this one forward. Kennedy sends this one up to Allie. Allie, little miscommunication between her and Cam on the back set. That one around the block. Good diving dig by Jane. Kennedy will help it out. And Greta sends it across. From the outside, tipped over. Cam does a good job of getting that one as she came back down, and we'll send it over and regroup. From the right side, and that's out of bounds. As their lefty turned on it. Greta to serve. At the libero. Setter runs a long way, and the outside gets a swing on it. Jane will play it up. Allie runs under it. Jane will free ball it over, and everybody resets. Quick one to the middle. Through the hands. Greta's got it. Allie to Jane. Jane will send it into the middle. That's picked up. Pushed over to the right side, and that's going to go off Jane as she was sliding over. Four to 2 early on in the second set. If you're just joining us, we dropped the first set. We've got to win this second one. Kennedy will backpedal and let that one go by. Cam serve will just tip off top of the net. Played up by Tulsa, free ball over. Cam up to Allie. Tight one, Allie turns it and dumps it. Good rejection by Delaney and Jane at the net. We'll get called for a net violation in that joust. Greta will handle that one. Allie pushes it out to Jane. Jane turned back at the net by Tulsa, and the lead is down to 1. 5-4 in favor of Rockwood. Kennedy will go down for that one, and the slide to Delaney too far. And we're at the Highway 55 double nickel. Tied up at 5. Allie will run that down from Greta, and Jane will send the free ball over. That was going to be out of bounds. Got a little help. Kennedy gets that. Alley with a quick set to Delaney. Timing was off a little bit, and that'll be a Tulsa point. Greta up to Alley. Jane will hit that one. Blocks come back. Chloe picks it up. Alley will get it back to Jane. She'll try the left side. Picked up again by Tulsa on the outside. We'll send that back to me. We'll be tied at 6. Alley will give it a whirl from behind the line. She'll send it down the right side. And this one will come punched over. And Greta's there. Alley will feed it to Zoe Parks. And Zoe will feed it to the floor monster as she sent a hard one cross court. And bring us to the old 76er as we celebrate our 250th anniversary of this country this year. And there's an embarrassing one for the other side as that goes off the net and off the face of the player. Alley doing a little head hunting. She gets an ace there. 8-6. She'll go back down that side again. Zoe Davis trying to clean up the overpass, but the up ref is going to say she went over the net. Down ref said it was clean. But the up ref always has the final say. Chloe will fight that one off. Liv runs under it, gets it to Jane. He'll push it back right corner. Up ref called a double on Jane as she pushed it. I know we've probably talked about it throughout the season. They made some rule changes over the years, and you can still call a double. It's still up to the official's judgment call, but that one will go into the seam right and be a point for Tulsa, and they'll recapture the lead. Can't call it on first contact, and can't call it if it's a pass to your own side, but if you're sending it across the net other than first contact, you can call a double. It used to be couldn't call it on first contact, but anything after that could be called a double, and that'll go too far and tie us up at 9. So a lot of setters were called for doubles in the past when they were setting their hitters, their pins. And that's a thing of the past. Now it's only if they're dumping it or if someone like what Jane did in that one was pushing it and gets called for the double. And that one will be from Reagan towards the libero. That one cross court, and Chloe unable to come up with it. And Tulsa will recapture the lead 10-9. Lollipop serve over to Greta. She gets a nice one to Liv, who will find Zoe Parks, and tie us up at two handfuls apiece. If you're keeping track, that's 4 bags of nickels. Great dig by Reagan, but unable to get it to anybody. As that one came towards the seam, she got one paw on it. This one will come at Greta. Liv will back set it to Zoe. Zoe will send it too far. And now we're down 2, 12-10. Greta will play up, and Liv and Zoe almost come together on that one. Don't want to see any head-on collisions. This isn't Highway 70, girls. this one at Chloe. She'll get it up to Liv. Liv's going to feed it to Greta. Greta will go for that Hertz donut. I think she's gone for a dozen so far today. Looking for that baker's dozen. Kennedy will come in to serve. She'll send it short middle. Pushed over the outside, cut cross court, off the net and down. And another Tulsa point. Chloe will step aside that one, Ole style, and let that bull run. All the way to or what is that? Pamplona? Wherever they run. The Bulls of Pamplona, I think, something like that. There's an ace for Greta. And we're tied. That's got us tied at 14. I have us tied at 13. I'll match them, whatever. Greta will go down the left side. Pushed over the outside, cross court. Greta got a paw on it. That's about it. Short one. Chloe runs under it. Allie will feed Jane. She'll try to send it back right corner. Tulsa picks it up, pushes it over to the right side, and she's going to win the joust, plus we were in the net, and that'll be a Tulsa point. That one's going to go long as well, as Kennedy does another wise decision and lets that one slide by her. Right side got another good swing, pinball it off the block, and Greta unable to come up with it. Not sure what all that was about. I think Gabby was checking her lineup to make sure she wasn't out of rotation before she had that sub. But that knuckleball will go off Greta. And Tulsa will have a 3-point advantage here in the back half here of set 2. Rockwood has to win this to extend it to the third set. Another knuckleball. Chloe will lay out for that one, but unable to get it to her setter. And we'll be down 4 and a timeout from Gabby. All right, timeout done. Let's see if these girls can get a side out and get some momentum on their side. Greta up to Allie. Push to Jane. Jane will send it from about the 10-foot line across court. One to the middle. Diving effort by Jane. Does a good job to keep that alive. We free ball it over. Pushed over to the right side. Cross court. Good dig by Kennedy, and it's pushed over. We play on, and they're going to call a net violation on us during that whole joust. Chloe up to Allie. Jane says enough's enough. Let's just put one away and stop having this rally stuff. Allie's got a 4-point gap to close here as we're in the back third. Sends a line drive over the net. And we're going to, this time we get a crossing the plane violation on Tulsa. They're going to say they went up and played the ball over the net plane. That's when they hold the ball up, or their hands up like they're holding the ball. That's what that basically signifies. Allie will send that down the right side. Jane's going to get that one cleaned up. And that'll be a timeout for Tulsa as the lead is cut to 2. We'll be back after the timeout. There's the whistle from the up ref. We're ready to get rolling again. Allie goes down the right side. That's just a little too far to the right, and it's 21-18. Line drive. Jane steps in front of it. Liv will feed it to Zoe Davis. Zoe Davis gets a good swing on it. Tulsa has to free ball it over. And Greta's goes all the way over. A little scramble. Jane gets it up to Zoe Davis. Push to the middle. Chloe unable to get there. Lays out. Pancake style. Got it up, but not to a teammate. 22-18. A timeout from Gabby, and that'll do it for her timeouts, I believe. So we'll be back to bring you the final stretch of the set 2 here. And both teams break the timeout. Tulsa serving up 4. And make that 3 as they'll give us a freebie. Reagan will come in with service. She'll send it back left corner. Pushed over the outside, and that's going to go off the net and down and take us to Monstropolis. 23-19. Girls crawled back a little bit from here in the first set, but unable to close the gap and lost the first set. See if they can close it on this one. Chloe up to Liv. She'll turn and dump it over. Right side. It'll go and fall in front of Chloe and donut hole there, and we'll be at set point, 24-19. Set and match point. Greta will put that one up to Liv, feed it back to Greta. She'll punch it over. Scramble on the other side, free ball. Chloe will get it to Liv. She'll one-hand set it, but can't get it to anybody, and that'll do it. We'll drop it in 2 straight to Tulsa, and that'll be a heartbreaker, as that puts us to where we're going to have to battle Navy to have a chance at finishing first or second in this set and continue on in gold. But we'll bring that to you in about an hour, so stay tuned.